Like, share, subscribe, dislike, like, share, subscribe, dislike if you choose to. Like, share, subscribe, dislike if you choose to. I want to talk about something that I've been noticing for the last about 20 years. Thank God I've been alive that long, and I've been watching wrestling just as long, right? But definitely the PG era. I want to talk about something that's been a problem, that's been contagious throughout the years. And it seems like that's the formula. What that formula is, face of the company formula. That is a poison. I know it's something we all been used to. It's something we've all gravitated towards now. We're desensitized to. But it's a problem when you really stretch it out and dissect it. Because Seth Rollins getting injured, which I thought it was a ruse. I thought it was a ruse again. I thought it was all bullshit, but no, he really got hurt, right? This literally just exposed the face of the company formula as a problem. Even the face of the brand, right? Who else is basically even capable of running Monday Night Raw? Now, we got CM Punk. And let's talk about who we currently have. Because Gunther is gone. He's hurt too. So we don't have Gunther. We don't have Seth Rollins. For some odd reason, we don't have Roman Reigns. I thought Roman Reigns was a part of Monday Night Raw. He's been beefing with the Vision, haven't he? So that's another confusion. He wasn't even in Battle Royal. Why? It's beyond me. You could have did Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the world title. It would have everybody talking. Never mind. That sounds too creative. But fine. You had LA Knight that's been in talks. He's been like dipping and dabbing in the world title picture, right? Jey Uso, which everybody's turning on. Who else? Then, okay, Bron Breakker, Bron Reed. Come to find out that I didn't even know this, that them two wasn't even in a battle royal. So why not have Bron Reed versus CM Punk or Bron Breakker versus CM Punk for the world title? Didn't we just see them take out the world champion? How does this correlate as sense to anybody? We just seen the top faction take out their leader. So if you didn't know no better, and say you didn't watch Crown Jewel, which was a waste of time, big waste of time, big, goofy, dumb-looking ass title that you don't see it until 1 year around. It's just stupid. Just passing time. Okay, if you didn't watch Crown Jewel and had no idea how Seth Rollins got hurt, if you're not an internet geek like most of us that keep up and you're in the wrestling bubble, right? If you're a casual and they showed you the recaps that the world champion got taken out by the guys he brought in, just think about this. How is a casual viewer going to look at this? So they did the recap and they see like, damn, they took out their own leader. Oh, Seth Rollins was the leader. But, okay, now he got to give up the title because it looked like they took him out. But they're not even a part of Battle Royal. It's beyond stupid. Now, this is still going to a point. You could have established Bron Breakker or Bron Reed as one of the faces of the brand just by facing CM Punk for the world title, even if CM Punk was going to win. Because they are one of the faces of the brand, but they're not a part of the biggest, they're not a part of getting an opportunity of the biggest prize of that brand. How does that make sense? You could establish those guys as other main eventers. Now, but we're going to get back to the broader picture here. that's been a problem for years. Because let's get on SmackDown, which is doing even worse. Who does Cody has to fight besides Drew and Randy Orton? And Solo Sikoa when they want to just bring him up. But Solo is not believable to be a world champion yet. He was just United States champ. Nobody believes he can be a world champion yet. Drew and Randy are the only guys, and Kevin Owens is hurt. But we all know we don't believe him to be a world champion either because we've seen that entire feud. They just wouldn't pull the trigger on Kevin Owens when he was the best part of Cody's first run. But SmackDown is even struggling even more. The WWE World Championship division and SmackDown is struggling even more for top guys. And this goes to the problem. If you established at least 6 to 7 guys that can run the ship, you wouldn't have this problem. That's why I brought up Braun Strowman and Brian Breaker not being a part of the Battle Royal, one of them winning, and being established as one of the guys that could run Raw. You have Jey Uso, which was a failed experiment. But at the same time, Jey Uso is one of the guys. Whether I like it or not, he's one of the guys that is established that could run it, right? But Jey Uso, keyword, established with an ED, right? So that means he's already kind of been stamped, right? So at this point, he's tarnished. That's why people turn it on him. So I'm not saying Jey Uso, don't go with Jey Uso, but why you didn't just go with someone else as well? LA Knight. You had a chance to do LA Knight. You had a chance to establish LA Knight as a main eventer by going against CM Punk. It's not about who really would have won, but just say if LA Knight would have won, you would have established LA Knight now. You see where I'm going with this? Instead of going with the same guy we already seen his situation with Jey Uso. Why you didn't try LA Knight, Brian Breaker, or Braun Strowman? New faces. You see what I mean? That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. And that's been an issue. John Cena, when he was the man, all you had was Randy as a substitute. And we know Randy's not better than Cena. When Cena was hurt in 2013, you seen how lifeless the shows were. Because the entire shows were surrounded by him. Then go back. After Cena, they was doing it with Roman. The entire show was surrounded by Roman. Everything was surrounded by Roman. So when Roman was gone, those shows felt lifeless. Thank goodness we got the 4-year bloodline without him getting hurt. But just think if he would have got hurt in the peak of the bloodline. Seth Rollins gets hurt in the peak of the Vision story. Now look, we're scrambling. They're just going with somebody that's already established, which wasn't a good move. You should have just made somebody new come up the ladder that people are already like. LA Knight. He's been over before Jey Uso. You could have made that opportunity right there. And LA Knight actually could have won the world title because people are ready for him to move up the card. It is not about who you like. It's about you established more faces. Jey Uso, as I stated, he's established as one of the faces of the brand. But you need more hands, bro. Wrestling is a team thing, bro. It's no different than the NFL leagues of teams that are trying to make it to the championships, to the finals. That team, excuse me, that team has to get you to the promised land, not one person. Can you be a ball hog? Yes, but it don't matter. You can be a ball hog all you want. You can cause your team to lose, try to score everything on your own, because it's not just you out there. The coach has an entire gameplay, right? There you want to make sure their gameplay is better than their opponents. It's that simple. Wrestling, same thing. Wrestling has the same thing. It's a gameplay. Everything you see is a work. Everyone is working together. Everybody is. The good guy, the bad guy, the referee, the cameraman, the ring announcer, the timekeeper. Everybody is working together. Even some crowd members that they pay. It's all an illusion. It's all work. So why depend on one guy to lead the ship? What is not, and realistically, it's not one guy that's making all this happen. John Cena is not actually the guy. There was a team, a whole list of team of guys that made him look like that. You get what I'm saying? So this is why this face of the company formula is doing more damage than help. Because now this Seth Rollins situation exposed this. And it exposed how weak the booking has made this roster look. Do not blame the roster. Do not say, well, the roster just sucks. No, I'm going to give you a scenario. Take Triple H, horrible booking ass, back to 2001. With that roster in 2001, 2000, it would be just as bad under Triple H. It'll be horrible under Triple H. Because Triple H is a horrible booker. The reason why I bring him back to that time, Vince McMahon was 55 in 2000, 2001. Triple H is 55, 56 right now. You see what I mean? Vince was at his peak at 55. Triple H is at his worst at 55. You see what I'm talking about? So it's not the fucking roster. It's the booking. If Vince was 55 right now, we wouldn't be talking like this about Raw or SmackDown. You catch my drift? So don't blame the roster. It's not the roster's fault. It just exposed how bad this roster is due to the booking. Maybe if you booked everybody important, maybe if you booked more faces of the brand, we wouldn't have this problem. LA Knight been over almost about 3 years, and you have yet to give this man a world championship, a big break so he can be established. You had a chance to make Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed go for the world title so they look like they can be established. Even give them the world title. Fuck it. Because right now, WWE is pressing the panic button with Jey Uso. They like, fuck it. People already like Jey Uso. He still got the crowd saying yeet. Well, we just got to go with him. Which is a bad idea. You should have went with LA Knight. You just should have went with LA Knight. The crowd is becoming fatigued with Jey Uso. We're getting Jey Uso fatigued. We know what to expect already. He ain't going to win. And really, you booked yourself in a lose-lose. If Jey Uso win, this is bad. The ratings are about to plunder, bro. I'm telling you that now. The ratings are already bad. So how worse can it get? Jey Uso's going to make it worse. Nobody wants to see Jey Uso win the world title. No way, no. At all. Nobody wants to see that shit. We've seen how bad his first title run is. No. You're going to have to book. It's going to have to be a different booking situation for Jey Uso to win the world title. And this ain't it. You booked him in a corner. CM Punk has to win because he's the only star on the show. But no, you could have made Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, who just beat fucking Roman. But Bronson Reed shouldn't be going for the world title? Damn, you talk about none of this makes sense. But Jey Uso should. Come on, dude. LA Knight would have made more sense with him. Haven't CM Punk and LA Knight been going back and forth for months? But regardless of what makes sense or not, when it comes to the booking, far as the face of the company shit, that has to stop. You need backup plans. You need A, B, C, Z. Fuck D and all the rest of them. You need a whole bunch of backup plans, bro. This is why the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era are regarded as somewhat the best eras. And they had a plethora of guys that are established that people talk about to this day. To this day. Because they moved the title around to established guys. Undertaker, Mick Foley, Big Show, Kane, Jericho, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple. You see what I mean? That's 7 fucking dudes right there. Name how many motherfuckers has been established in the PG era, bro. You didn't want to make Dolph Ziggler a star. You didn't want to make Bray Wyatt a star. You didn't want to make Wade Barrett a star. You didn't want to make Zack Ryder a star. You didn't want to make Ryback a star. What are we... Now, look where we're at. All those guys that could have been established during the PG era. You only made CM Punk, Randy Orton, Batista. Batista left during the middle of it. Then you got to worry about that. Not only niggas getting injured, but then you got to worry about guys just not happy and just ready to do something else. Either not happy or just want to pursue something else. This is why you need backup plans, bro. Knock on wood. Say Cody gets fucking injured, then what? You think that Battle Royal with Raw was bad? Oh, look at a SmackDown Battle Royal for the WWE title. Oh, goodness. If you think the Raw Battle Royal looked like that was going for a European Championship, the SmackDown fucking Battle Royal, if Cody got hurt for the WWE title, a SmackDown Battle Royal gonna look like it's going for the Light Heavyweight Championship. They ain't got no star power at all over there. But Randy and Drew McIntyre. That's why I said you need more than just one guy, bro. Drew should beat Cody to establish Drew as one of the guys, bro. It needs to happen. And you need to start moving niggas up, man. Solo, just move them up. Right now, you got no choice. Dude, you need to at least have about 6 to 7 guys that can that can keep this shit going. So if somebody got hurt, you won't be doing that bad. You'll be like, shit, okay, we got these 2 that can hold it down. We got these other guys that can hold it down. But when you are solely reliant and dependent on one face, oh, just Roman, we just gotta have Roman. Then Roman is a part-time guy due to his health. So how long you gonna depend on that? That's why this face of the company shit is stupid. You think of Ruthless Aggression Era, Eddie Guerrero, JBL, John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. Come on, man. Edge. That's at least 6 guys. Like, Rey Mysterio. Like, they experimented. Rob Van Dam even for a minute at the time. They experimented. Booker T was world champion. They had a set of guys that could move around. Not just a bunch of mid-carders and upper mid-carders. You got to have at least 6 to 7 main eventers. At least 6 to 7. I just think it makes more sense. Instead of 2 main eventers, 3 main eventers, out of 40 fucking people in this roster, is only 3 top guys. Instead of at least 6. No, bro. This face of the company shit has to stop. It's doing more damage, bro. And I'm just looking around, and I hope this next generation learn from this. I hope AEW learn from this. Do not have one face of the company. Do not do that. You need to have faces. You need to have faces of the company. Not just one. Because then once he's gone, then what? Then what? You're scrambling. You just scratching for anything. And the results are Jey Uso. No offense to him, but Jey Uso fucking sucks. So it is offense. He sucks, bro. We know this. He's not a main eventer. But look who y'all scrambling against instead of making LA Knight, instead of making Braun Breaker, instead of making Braun Seri. I'd rather you do a three-way or something. I mean, you need to do something to establish some top guys around here because Duddy's hit the panic button. Seth Rollins really exposed this shit. Why the face of the company, face of the brand bullshit needs to stop. You need to have at least 5, 6, 7 guys, bro. Seriously. But anyway, what do y'all think of this? We are out.